Welcome to the best mini course on business grants. I'm gonna go in depth on what are grants and why you should even care about them. My name is Darcy and I started a business 4 years ago because I knew ownership was going to be the key to my financial success. I am on a simple mission: help as many people start and fund their businesses. And for the year of 2024, my goal is to help 10,000 people. And so today I'm gonna give a full tutorial on business grants. We're gonna talk about what are business grants, what are they not, who are the grant sponsors or the organizations that will be giving you this money, what type of grants are available to you, and then I'll lastly talk about the additional benefits that you will receive when you win a grant. So let's break down what a grant is. A grant is a gift, typically in the form of financial assistance or money given to a business by a grant sponsor to further the grant sponsor's mission. That was a mouthful, so let's unpack that definition. And so when I say financial assistance, that typically means money or cash. And so when it comes to businesses receiving grants, they will likely receive an ACH payment to their business bank account because the grant sponsor needs a place to send the money. Let's talk about a gift. A gift is something that does not need to be repaid and is given to you freely. And so with a business grant, a grant sponsor is trusting a grant winner to use the grant money to help grow their business. Now let's talk about what a grant is not. A business grant is not money that you can use to pay off your personal debts. And so if you have a mortgage to pay off or you have bills, you cannot use a business grant for your personal expenses unless the grant application clearly tells you you can. So what's nice about a grant is that it is not a loan. Typically, when you apply to a loan, you get your credit checked. You have to provide a lot of documents. They want to see how much revenue you're making in your business. They also want to see what you own so that they can take it if you don't pay back the money. And with a grant, a lot of times you don't have to worry about all of that. Most of the time, there's no credit check. The application is short. They just want to hear about you, your story, your why, your everything. They want to hear about what makes you unique. And I want to thank today's sponsor, Darcy with Darcy's Business, for creating this content. So if you're finding any value at all from this video, make sure to like and subscribe and share it with as many people as you know. I want to quickly say that in the world where we're quick to call things a scam, I want you to know that business grants as a whole are not a scam. It is very important that you do your due diligence to research these grant sponsors. Make sure that these organizations are legit. And so some things to look out for to make sure it's legit is, does it have a professional email address? Does it clearly have terms and conditions or a policy outlining the requirements for the grant? Who will win the grant? How many grant winners will there be? And the grading criteria that they are scoring grant applicants. You also want to look out for whether or not the grant organization is asking you for money. If they are asking you for money, you should be cautious, but that isn't an immediate sign that it's a scam. Just because they ask for money does not mean they are a scam, but it should give you pause before you jump to sharing all of your information. And so overall, when applying to these business grants, you want to make sure that you do some research on the grant sponsor to make sure they're legit and in line with your own business's mission and values. Now let's talk about who is giving out these grants. And so you can think about it in two categories. We have public sector grants and private sector. When you hear public sector, I want you to think about the government. There are several different levels within the government that you need to know about. At the top, the largest organization, we have the federal government, then we have the state government, and then we have local and county governments. And so each one of these government organizations has money set aside for small businesses. And usually, if you're able to win money from the government, it's going to be large amounts. To win a government grant, you can win anywhere from $100,000 to millions of dollars for your business. And so there's a lot of opportunity when it comes to government grants. One thing that you should know is that with government grants is that when you are applying, it will be a long application process. They're going to want to know a lot about you and a lot about your business. Because there's a lot of money at stake, they really got to believe that you are going to put that money to good use. And one of the best ways is by helping your community. And then we have private grants. Private sector grants are typically given by corporations. This can be large-scale companies like Walmart or Amazon, and it can also be small-scale companies. And so businesses of all sizes set aside money in order to give back to their community in the form of grants. And typically with a corporate grant or a private grant, it can range anywhere between hundreds of dollars to millions of dollars. And so there's a wide range when it comes to the grant amount that corporations give away. To give you insight, Antoinette Banks won $1 million through Pharrell Williams' Black Ambitions grant. And so this organization has given over $3 million to Black and Hispanic entrepreneurs. And so when it comes to grants, there are levels to this in the amount that is given away. But there is a huge opportunity as this is free money. And I trust as I'm saying this, in the future, I'm going to be talking about you as one of the grant winners. So there's a huge opportunity when it comes to both public and private sector grants. And so when it comes to business grants, there's different types of grants that you can get. You can have conditional grants and unconditional grants. Conditional grants are grants that are given to you by a grant funder for a particular project or purpose. Typically, projects are a group of activities that can happen over several weeks or several months that have an end or completion. It could be a 5-week training program on teaching people how to start a business. And so the project would include hiring staff, getting materials, doing marketing to make sure the project is completed and successful. And so when a grant sponsor or grant funder gives money, they want to know your business is in line with their values. And so one organization might have a $10,000 grant in order to help businesses hire an employee. If you win a grant and decide to use funds on something else that is not the purpose that the grant funder gave that money to you, then you might have to repay back that money. But that's because the grant was conditional. By filling out the grant application, you agreed to spend the money for a particular reason. If you don't abide by that agreement, then you might have to pay back the money. And so that's one thing to be aware of when it comes to conditional grants. And then we have unconditional grants. Unconditional grants is when the grant funder says you can spend the grant of money on anything you need to within your business. And so the grant funder is trusting you that you know what to do, you know where to put the money, whether that's marketing, paying for new employees, in order to see the most growth in your business. And so that grant organization is trusting you to do whatever you want with the money when they give you an unconditional grant. To let you know, most private grants are conditional. And so that's something to be aware of in the grant application process. Now let's talk about the benefits that you'll get in addition to the free money when you win a business grant. First off, you'll get community. You'll be connected to other entrepreneurs who are in the same place as you, who are looking for additional funding, additional resources to grow their business. And so it's really nice to be able to join a community of people, because as an entrepreneur, it can be very isolating. You are putting in 70-hour days, 80-hour days trying to grow your business. And so when you win a grant, you're connected to other entrepreneurs who are right there in the trenches with you. In addition, you get mentorship, which are people who are a few steps ahead of where you are in business. So if you're making, let's say, 50 or 60K a year, these mentors are going to be making 100K, 200K a year. And so it's very beneficial to be able to receive help from people who are a few steps ahead of where you want to be. You might think I'm almost done, but there are so many more benefits. When you get a grant, you oftentimes get free education and training. They will likely have courses on their platform covering particular topics as it relates to business and business growth. And so it's important that you take those trainings to let them know that you're serious about growing your business and investing your time in getting educated on what will grow your business. And one more benefit that I want to talk about that most people don't think about is that when you win a grant, you get free marketing for your business. The grant sponsor is going to promote you across all of their social media platforms. They're going to be like, we gave this person $100,000. And so if you are ready to capitalize on all of these benefits, in addition to free marketing, I encourage you to apply for your first grant. And if this isn't your first one, to keep applying to grants, because when you win a grant, doors will open for you. And so if you want to learn how to apply to grants easier and faster than it's ever been before, join my newsletter as I'm giving practical tips on how you can use AI to win your first 10K. I cannot wait to see you next time. Peace, stay building.